Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Nine Lord, and today I just wanted to share with you my senior project. So basically, what I'm going to be doing is in the next few minutes, I'm going to be showing you my previous computer, how it ran on Destiny 2. That's the game I decided to choose. The frames that I got in the game, the utilization of my CPU, the central processing unit, and I'll basically just be going through what all the parts kind of do and what parts I chose to have in my computer that I built for the senior project. And that's basically all I'll be doing. So I hope you guys enjoy and feel free to subscribe for more tech videos like this coming up very soon. So down in the bottom right, that's where we're getting our frames at. So basically what you're seeing right here is on the left side of the screen you can see 100% of my previous central processing unit, or CPU for short, is being utilized, which normally is not very good for a computer. So you can tell that this game is very intensive on my CPU, and that is one of the main reasons why I decided I needed to switch this out. I didn't actually showcase the GPU, the graphical processing unit, in this specific example, but I will be showing you the after effects of the GPU and the new GPU that I installed just a few weeks after my initial computer caseover was accomplished. Anyway, on to the next video. Here it is. We got the RAM. We have the motherboard here. And CPU. Case should be coming in around Thursday. And yeah, the other stuff is in this computer right there. So we're gonna get that out as soon as we get the other parts. Cool. So before we get too much more into this video, I just want to explain that what you're seeing in the background behind my hand there, the camera went into focus on my hand, sorry about that. But beforehand, the case that you saw, that was my, I believe it was the Fantex case. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But what I did for my senior project is I moved all of my parts in that computer over to the new case. And in doing so, I had a little bit more space for parts that I needed, and I was able to do a full rebuild with a brand new motherboard, as you saw in the previous video, and brand new sticks of RAM because the RAM wouldn't fit in the previous motherboard, and eventually the graphics card, which will be coming up in a little bit here, but now onto the case. Here we have the second and final item. We got the tower. Tower came in. I'm gonna open this up and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, here we have it slightly opened. You see the foam parts still to keep it sound, not moving at all. Gonna take it out now. And here we have it out of the plastic and the foam pieces. It's looking nice. We got our power button up here. Oh, it's like clicking. That's nice. We got our ports up here, our USB 2.0s, our headphone, and our microphone jack. And here we have motherboard port. This is where the I/O port on the motherboard goes. We have a fan here to keep it cooler. And then we have these little ports right here. They're easily detachable. These are where the graphics card / anything else goes.
And this nice little cutout right here is for the power supply. This is the window to see through it. It doesn't look much like a window right now. It kind of looks like a mirror. There you guys are. Back here, I can get into that. Alright, not going to mess with this plastic too much. There should be a little part that we can slide, or maybe it's just it's just the face. Okay, so this is just a whole pane right here. It's a plastic pane.
For those of you wondering, yes, I do tear off the plastic. And yes, I will showcase it now. Anyway, now let's get back to the senior project.
In here we can see the connection port right here. These go in the motherboard. All of these are connected to the power buttons and other USB ports and whatnots. The reason that we have these here, this is actually, that's not a cover, okay. So the reason these are here is because these plug into your motherboard. You can see USB and HD audio. These individually plug into your motherboard so that this can actually power up, so that when I click this power button here, it actually does something.
Just as a note, I was talking about the blue thing, this thing right here, not the USB or HD audio. Back to the video.
Back here, I can remove this face, but all you're going to see is these wires. They're fed through here, so you don't see any gross wires over here, whatnot. This is for the fan. Let me show you better. This little 3-pin is for the fan. You also plug this into your motherboard. My mentor will be here tomorrow, and I will video and show pictures for you guys, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.
So with two people, it's a little bit harder than I realized to take videos of the senior project while I'm trying to put the computer together. Should have thought about that beforehand. But we do have the final finished product here, and I do have me partially installing my new graphics card, so we'll get to that as soon as we finish this part right here. Boom.
Oh, hi, Mark.
You're filming?
Filming.
All right. Power's on. We have a light down here. Okay. Moment of truth.
Let me just save you the trouble right here. What we're doing right now is we're waiting for the computer to post, which is basically like if you see whenever you're turning a computer on for the first time, it'll say like click F1 or F12 or something like that to get into like computer diagnostics. Sorry. That's basically what we're waiting for. It does it every time you get a new motherboard for the computer and it's doing its first initialization. But I say let me spare you the time because it takes a long time. But eventually we get there, and here it is.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's posting.
Republic of Gamers. Gamer. Okay, I need to put the... No keyboard, that's fine. CPU fan error.
Press F1 to...
I can't, I gotta put the...
Again, I'm just going to save you some time here. What ends up happening is we plugged the CPU fan in the wrong port on the motherboard, and that's what it was telling us right there, the CPU fan error. Not a big deal. It's still posted. We were still able to make changes that we needed to, but we basically just had to turn the computer off, make sure the power supply was off so we didn't short circuit anything on accident, and then take the CPU fan out and put it into the correct port. And then once we did that, we went back in the post screen and we loaded the computer up. And after we did that, after we did that, we loaded up Destiny 2 to get a little bit of a test run after to compare the two. And I'm just gonna skip all of the post and the setting up, and we're just gonna go straight to Destiny 2 with the new CPU. So I will see you there. Alright, so I'm just gonna talk over this because the audio wasn't really great to begin with. Anyway, right now what I'm doing is Garrison and I are talking and we're looking at the numbers and comparing the two. That's the new CPU that I have in. As you could see right there, it was the AMD Ryzen 2600X. As you can also see, the speed is now being clocked up to 4.0, 4.4. You see that number keeps changing. Gigahertz, which is a 0.5 gigahertz increase, which means the CPU needs to use less of itself because we have a higher gigahertz. And then here we're saying the graphic, the frame numbers, my bad, down in the bottom right there, they increased a slight amount, not too much, but again, the whole upgrade was mainly to just get it in a new case so we could get new parts into the computer. And as you can see, the new CPU is the real big thing that we were focusing on here. As you can see, it's quite literally half of what it used to be, which is amazing. It's more than I wanted in the upgrade, and I was just super ecstatic about it. I was super happy. And then in the next few days here, I installed a new GPU myself, a 1070 Ti, and I will be putting that video directly after this one. But this was a very fun project to do. Excuse me. This is a very fun project to do, and I'm glad that Garrison was my mentor, and I'm glad to have had this experience with him, and I'm glad that he was there to help me and really explain to me what was going on. There were just some questions that I couldn't really answer on the couldn't really be answered on the internet. So I thank him so much, and right here I'm just doing a lot of babbling. Yeah, you'll see it goes black now. But yeah, this was a super great experience, and I am very thankful that Garrison was there and all to help me with my senior project. And then up here I'm going to post the CPU utilization compared to the other one, and then we'll get straight into the graphics card, which is the second kind of part to this video. So we'll do that right now.
Alright, so I have recently made an upgrade. We got I'm going to show you the box here. The graphics card, the Duke GeForce GTX 1070 Ti, and that is upgraded from our previous package down here. This is upgraded from the GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. So one thing to note that you might have seen between each graphics card, what I'm doing right now, you'll see, is I'm discharging myself. I'm wearing socks and there's a carpet right there, so I'm making sure I'm discharged so I don't actually accidentally shock the computer. Anyway,
so the funny thing is, at this time I didn't actually know what the physics behind this was, but funny enough, now that I've taken a physics class, I understand kind of why the computer can get shocked and why the parts can get fried and why it's very dangerous to not be working with a electrostatic discharge bag. So if you want to know the physics behind that, I'll explain it, but otherwise I'm just going to leave it how it is right now and we'll continue with the video. I just thought that was something kind of funny that I should add in, how a few months later I actually know what's going on. Alright, back to the video.
what you'll notice is we have these cords here, and you might be thinking, well, what are these cords necessary for? So actually what the cords do is they're directly plugged into the power supply. Sorry, my cat keeps jumping up here. They are directly plugged into the power supply to provide the graphics card with additional power. which it's definitely going to need. I'm going to show you some Destiny 2 benchmarks later, and you'll see a definite frame increase from last time I showed you Destiny 2. So I will see you when that happens.
So in a different video, I'm actually going to explain the, I guess you could say, computer science behind why the frames increase when you have a graphics card rather than a CPU. And I know most of you who aren't really that techy are like, well, it has graphics in the name, so obviously it has something to do with graphics. And well, you're not wrong. But that's for another video that will be released shortly here. I'll be explaining the difference between each parts and what they do and how they work with each other, etc. But for now, we're on to the video still.
Okay, I got Destiny 2 to launch, which was our last benchmark game. These were the current settings I was running. Well, at the time they were current, but these were the settings I was running. And already you can see the major FPS increase. And this isn't even the game yet. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this all the way up to the highest that it can go. We're going to turn that, we'll just turn that to there and apply. Okay, so still really high on the FPS, as you can see. And as you can see, the GPU is spiking up a little bit to 80. CPU is still around 50% usage. Let's get out of here and go back to where we were before during our initial testing. So really fast before I continue on, these were the previous settings that we were running on. Alright, so it's really nice and really smooth in game. You can see our FPS is definitely a little higher. The reason you're not seeing crazy high numbers with the FPS right now, the GPU is only being half utilized as compared to our last test when at these settings the GPU had 100% utilization. Now let's go to our settings, video, and let's change this to high. We don't need it at the highest. Turn that down. I don't know what some of these settings do, so I'm just turning them off if I don't need them. I don't like motion blur or anything like that. Okay, and we'll call that good. Alright, so down here we can see running at a nice stream of 60 FPS, and again, only using barely half of the GPU. So there you can see at 60, 70 frames, we're only using half the GPU on high settings. This is extremely great. It is a very, very good update from what I previously had. And also, I didn't show you guys, but it lights up. So that's even cooler. Alright, I will be pulling up Doom to show you guys that game as well. And yeah, so stay tuned for that.
Side note, I will not be pulling up Doom and showing you that. Sorry, no use for it anymore. Regardless though, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching my senior project, and I really hope that you enjoy the next few videos that are coming out. The next one will be Charlie's computer, watching, showing me showing you how we built that and whatnot. And then the video after that will be explaining the different parts of the computer for people who are maybe trying to get into computer building like Charlie was. And that's going to be it for me. So I hope you guys did enjoy watching again. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace off.